Hi everyone, Emma here. Just a quick update. I know some people are worried that I'm not well because I haven't posted a video in a week, and I usually do a couple a week. I have been busy, and as you can see, so let's just talk about this for now. I am working on some other projects to show you. I'm working on a beautiful flower project using petal beads, and I don't know what they call them. I have to look them up. They're not pips, but they're the other one that looks like usually a rose petal. But anyway, I figured out a really amazing design for a flower, so we can do a bunch of those for a bracelet. In the meantime, I am having so much fun with the loom, but it's also very frustrating. So this was the first one that I did, and it turned out amazing. Like, the design is very simple, so it's very quick to do. Um, and I'm putting my hand behind because, as you can see the space behind. But of course, when you wear them, you're not going to see all the space. You're going to see the skin, so you'll see the pattern. But anyway, this pattern I didn't realize was not big enough for these tube closures. I'm trying to think what they call them. But anyway, so I did add the 3mm leather on the edge. But there's also a design, and I want to try and do that one too. So it's, you do say this size design, but you have a row of thread on each side, and you thread on a bunch of beads to begin with, usually bigger beads than what you're using here. And then, so every time you go around, you also will slide a bead up and then put it in on both sides. And so then you have a border of a bigger bead on the edge. So I'm going to try that. The other thing, I have done this before where you put leather on either side. You attach it to your loom, and then you, when you're weaving, of course, you go around the leather as well. So it incorporates the whole thing together. So it's not like this. It's actually attached. So, and I know I had like a part one and a part two of that video, and somebody asked me if there was a part two. So I went looking for it. Now, I have over 1,000 videos, so it's really hard to find stuff at times. And I know at one point I went through, because I had a new tablet, so I went through and deleted some that were, I think I deleted any video that had under 20 views. And I do find that a lot of times people are looking for inspiration. They're not necessarily looking for the tutorial A to B. So the second half of videos, I find, so if I do it in two parts, the second part gets very few views compared to the first part. So anyway, that's just little nugget of information. Back to this. So this one's great. We ended up rescuing it. So I went ahead and did this one. I'm so excited. I love this pattern. It was one that I saw on Pinterest. I made some alterations, and if you have a keen eye, you may be able to see there's a few mistakes. So one here, I did these three beads here. I put them as orange. I was thinking the pumpkin was going down that way. And sometimes when you're, if it's sitting like this, it kind of looks like, the biggest part of the pumpkin, it goes out and then comes around. So that's what I was thinking with that part. So when you look at it this way, it looks pretty normal. But then when you look and you follow these lines, these circular lines going down, I should have come down. So either these two, or actually, I think the pattern had it these three like that. So anyway, there's that. And then there's this. I don't know what happened there. Don't blame me. So anyway, I really appreciate everybody gave me some really incredible tips on how to do the looms and where to look and what videos to take a look at. so there was two in particular. Her name is Danielle Wicks, maybe. Um, and I'm trying to think. Okay, so the one pattern, what she did was when she had her threads at the end, she would cut them and then thread each one and weave it up into the bracelet. So then you thread all of them. So that's one way to avoid knots. Then the other thing she suggested is to unhook your loom. So if you put your bar back in and then push this forward and bend it, you can unhook these lines. Like you can see these lines. You have like one whole set goes on one side like that, so that you unhook them without cutting them. And then you do the same for the other side. But of course you have a start and a finish, and hopefully you have a start and a finish. Now I always start at the top, I think. No, maybe the bottom. So it would be here and here. But you know, depending on your warp lines, where, I'm trying to think. No, I guess I do. I have one there and one there. So what you would do is you would start with the one line and you would pull this up, and this one here that has, this is like the first and the second is looped, so those will like go into the bracelet and then stop at that bead. So then you go to the next one, so your third line down here, and pull it, and it will pull the next one down. And then so you only have your one end here and your one end here when you're done. So I went ahead and did that. Oh, it's not as easy as she makes it seem. Let's just putting that on the table. And let me show you the thread I use, because of course that is going to determine how it works as well. So a lot of people, not a lot, but a few people mentioned that it's very expensive to use Fireline for your thread on a loom because you have so much wasted line, right? So doing that method would be good, because when you get to the end, if you have a whole bunch of like one long strand, you could use that for something, for half of a bracelet or something like that. But anyway, before I even thought of how to finish up my bracelet, I went ahead and I used the 1G. I wanted to test it out and see how it does. The 1G did really amazing. This is what I made with it, and I really liked how it worked. But of course, then I didn't think about it and I went to try her method of pulling the strands, and what a mess. See, you can see how everything is buckled and it's changed its shape. The beads are not like, you can see them here, they're nicely straight in a line, but then when you get up here, they're all like different positions. I guess you could fix it with your nail. I just got so frustrated I put it away. I was like, I'm done. But I want to redo this one because I love, love, love the bright colors. So anyway, the other part to that was, so you can see it made a mess. And one of the things that happened, see if I can find the side. So one of the things that happened, because I used the 1G, and this is like a bunch of little fibers together, it's not fused like a fire line. So when I was pulling it through, it must have got hooked on a sharp part of the inside of a bead, and it just balled up a whole bunch of thread, and it was just somewhere in here, so that's why it's all messed up. So I managed to cut it out without damaging. But before I went and cut everything, I decided I'll glue my ends. So when I added my glue, there was still all the strands. I added the glue and I had it on a piece of cardboard and I guess it moved around and then I went to pick it up and look at what happened. Let me show you here. So the cardboard is stuck to the beads and it's all across. So I wouldn't use this on like a bracelet that would go directly onto your wrist, and I could probably pick some of this off. It's really hard to get off, but look at that. That's like so that was a disaster. But you know what? Part of this is learning too. Like I've done a few of these and I was lucky. Every one of them turned out and made a beautiful bracelet. But you're going to run into problems. One, when you're, using somebody else's design and trying to alter it, or, doing your own designs, which is what we're coming up to next. I'll wait till I show you that one. So, my initial intention for this bracelet was to put it on leather. So I could still do that. I might do like a bead embroidery. So put like felt on this side, maybe stitch it down or glue it down and then add some embellishment around. But let's take a look at the leather. So I want your opinion on the leather and let me know if I should do orange or green leather. So I bought those two color leathers. They're two of my favorite colors, and it's like I was blown away that they actually had green and orange leather. They have yellow and blue and red. So, okay, let me start with the green. So this is the green leather. So actually what I'll do is I'll bring it to the edge so you get an idea of what it would look like. So what I wanted to do is do a double piece of leather. So I would have one piece, so say like this, and I would glue this on to it, but then I would cut another piece with a little window and put it over top so it would overlap the first row and overlap these rows so you wouldn't see any threads anywhere on the edges, and then maybe some type of fancy stamping work on it. So there's the green. Let's bring it up so you can see that. Wait for it. I kind of know what people are going to say, but I'm going to test you. Oh, crap. The orange is amazing. That is awesome. So yeah, I think I may end up redoing this. I'm really see how much it's kind of moving and buckling, and I wonder if that's the 1G thread, because it does kind of stretch, and I know you can pre-stretch it. This one, yeah, I don't know what to say. This one didn't do that. So maybe it's because it's bigger. There's more, when you start getting bigger, it changes. But you know what? Okay, I have to say, I think I know what it is. I use the dragon thread for this, or the fire line, because it's super stiff. So of course it's not going to move around, but this is very wobbly. So yeah, what do you think? Let me know. Green or orange? Oh, it's wrong side. It's like that. And then we're going to talk about the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm doing a video.
You mean other than you?
Yeah. No, you're the Wicked Witch. You're not my friend anymore. So this one I designed using a photo on Pinterest, and I guess what I should do is show you the picture. So let me just say quickly that some people had asked about if I could send them a PDF of this. I did in the video when I'm showing you this bracelet, I did show the design, and all you have to do is a screenshot. If you don't know how to do a screenshot on whatever device you're using, just put it in the search bar on YouTube and it'll tell you how to do a screenshot. And you have to say for what what device you're using. So if it's a tablet or a phone or stuff like that. So just so you know, um, I use a tablet, and I can download documents. I can do the screenshot for you and send it to you in an email. But I think it's probably easier if you do it yourself. So let's start with the picture that I used. So this was the picture that I used. Now, I have to say, I do feel like her face here is wider here. And I wonder if when I did a couple of shots, so let me think. This is the one I used, so I don't know why it turned out like that. I think this is, yeah, it's pretty much the same. But anyway, it's in here, it seems really narrow compared to this. I feel like this should be wider. But anyway, when you look at it at a glance, it's amazing. It turned out pretty good. Now, she's missing bottom teeth, but there's like the beads, I would have to go to a smaller bead to get that stuff in. So one of the things I did do, and I'm not completely, like, I think I'm going to redo this one too, because of course here's her hand. Now I have it in reverse just because I did a tracing of it. So I have a special light box that I use for tracings. So I did a tracing, so of course you see the hand is opposite because I just traced it from this picture. So you put it on the light box. You can do that. You can put it on a window that's lighted, where there's sunlight coming through. There's lots of ways to do that too. But anyway, so I tried. Here's my feeling on this. So then once I have this done, then I go and do this. So I can't remember. I'm trying to remember if I think I took the picture and then just put this over top and took the colored markers and colored it. So let me give you this, so if you want to copy it. I will be doing some adjustments to this one here because it's kind of off. So there you go. So I use the full page. So these pages you get from, I think most bead stores offer them. So these are from Art Beads, and they have design pages for every type of stitch or beading technique that you're doing. So there it is. Go ahead and take a screenshot. Feel free to use it if you want. But if you see, she doesn't have any outline on her eyes. But if you look at the picture, she has this, dark outline. And here's the other thing. There's like depth to her eyebrows. And I feel like maybe that one there should have been black to kind of match with that one. So a few little things like that. Her wart on her chin, I was gonna put it, now it's showing up as kind of white here, and I thought that without having a dark bead next to it to show shadow and depth, that it might look weird, like some white spot on her chin. So I took that out. But the other thing to say about this is what I've come up with is I think you need to exaggerate what you're trying to represent. Um, yeah, I don't know how to explain it exactly, but the other thing is my colors don't contrast enough. So that's the other thing that I found difficult. So I just grabbed the colors that I had and then, said, okay, this one's dark for green. So I have a dark green. There's a medium green here. So I think these ones under her eye are the medium green. So you can see next to the dark is the medium. And then I had the olive green was kind of the next kind of dark green. And this is actually a pale green. And then I went through in the picture and assigned those colors to those areas. So you can kind of see now where, you've got the line, and of course this is opposite, so the line coming down on her nose, but you can't see the definition of her nose at all. You don't get this part here. Of course, there's no blacks or browns to outline stuff. So one of the things I did with the eyes is I took some 15-0s and I weaved them on top. It turned out pretty good. But so trial and error. I think I need to go back to my basic designs. The other thing I wanted to mention to you is I decided to mark my loom. And I'm really, if let me know if you've heard of this, if she has one of these looms where they actually mark the, each line, because I found doing something like this, I needed to make sure I had 25 warp threads. I needed to make sure that it was not going to come over the one side where I'd start doing my warp threads and, I'm over too far. And then I'm like, oh, I don't have enough room to do the next one. So I marked a line for the center line. Now, here's the problem that I ran into with doing this is I was okay to mark the center line, but then when I went to count 10, I couldn't decide. I'm so indecisive. I couldn't decide if I wanted to mark for the warp threads or the actual bead. And I felt like it was like, it's good to know where the center line is. That's a no-brainer. But then I kind of want to count the beads so that I know how many beads, if I'm doing 25 this side, and you can see the threads, I did 3 past that 10, gave me 13. And then on this side, I did 10 plus 2 gave me 12, which makes 25. So it worked out, but yeah, it was just like one of those moments. And I did the same for the bottom because I also noticed in some of the videos that the warp threads go on an angle, and I feel like it's really like your work is going to be like this. And I've seen stuff come off of the loom, which is like slide, and then there's a little play in your work. So yeah, so there's my there's my goodies. So let me know what you think should be my next project. I do actually have a few other projects coming up on the loom, but let me know if there's a design you have that you want to see me trick out or something like that, and what color leather I should use for this guy here. And thanks for stopping by. And for those of you who were concerned that I was not doing well, I just want to say, like, a quick update. I have been busy with this stuff and trying to do some other designs, but I also had some two bracelets that I um, wanted to finish for Kath in England, and so I was busy doing those. And my sister's birthday is coming up, and I started doing a painting. I should show you what I have. Let me see. I've put stuff away, but yeah, let me just grab the camera and show you. So I was busy doing that painting. I was hoping to get that done for her and have it shipped for the free shipping. Let me adjust the... It's hard to do this with... This tablet has the edges, the camera goes right to the edges, so if your fingers touch it, you can't fix it. So this is the painting I'm doing for her birthday. So the one with the blonde hair is her, and the other one is me, and of course that's Anna. So it's coming along really good. Let me see if I can show you the original photograph. Oh, there's a kitty sleeping. I'll show you that at the end. He's gonna wonder what's going on. And I have a bunch of leather stuff that came. So I'm working on some leather bracelet designs too. So let me just show you. So this is the original. So that's me, Emma and Sylvia. I'm thinking, I was trying to figure out how old we are. We're about a year apart, or a year and 6 months. She looks 3, maybe I'm 4.5. So yeah, that's our Santa picture. And I'll show you the kitty. So he's been bugging me. He wants to be in my office, but he wants on my desk. So I grabbed this cave. And when I bought this cave, he didn't want to have anything to do with it. And now look at him. He comes in my office. Hi, kitty. Do you say hello? What are you doing? Are you trying to sleep? It's bedtime. He slept there all night, and he has another bed in the hall. So, anyway, thank you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.